The next question. I attend the traditional Latin Mass from a diocesan priest. A congregation of priests told me that they are the only ones that can say a valid Latin Mass, that any priest ordained after 1962 are invalid. 1. Can any priest celebrate the Latin Mass? 2. The sacraments they administer, are they valid?
SSPV. Okay.
I can't think why anyone would say someone ordained after 1962 it's invalid. There was no changes to anything then to do with ordination. They might be thinking about bishops' consecration in 1968 changing, and that after that the priests they ordained aren't validly ordained. But that's not clear. I don't have much to say. Just if someone's telling you that they're the remnant, all 12 of them, yeah, why would you believe that?
The Sedevacantists, and there's different groups, believe certain things, and I don't quite understand it. But I will simply say this. The Society of Pius X recognizes Novus Ordo ordinations, okay? Now, we do have to be careful because we're getting to an age, I think. I'm not saying we're there yet, but we're getting to an age where we can honestly start to question, do the bishops actually believe what they're doing? And they need to have the intention in order to ordain. You know, I mean, look at McCarrick, who was clearly a communist spy for decades in the church. And look how many people he ordained. Okay, now again, don't go running out there saying that Father Lovell said that Cardinal McCarrick's, or the former Cardinal McCarrick's ordinations are all invalid. No. But what I'm saying is that there's a clear example of infiltration in the hierarchy. And we have to keep in mind that it's form, matter, and intention. And if the bishop withholds that intention or doesn't believe in that intention, it can cause serious doubt whether or not someone was ordained. Okay, but a diocesan priest can celebrate and should celebrate the traditional Latin Mass. I'm always going to promote diocesan priesthood, the Order of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, as I like to call us. So...
Okay, we're going to have one more. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to say a little bit about this subject because I happen to know, or at least over the last 25 years or so, I've known people who do have the exact, who do claim that, as you just said, in the Novus, since Vatican II, the ordinations are a little different. They took away some of the steps and so on. And many really super traditionalist people will say that because the ordination rites were changed and certain things were left out, that any priest ordained after 1968, you can't trust their Mass. And I don't know what our distinguished priests will think, but this is what I usually say to them. And that is that probably in the early days of the church, there was a great variety in how people were ordained, just like there were different ways to celebrate the Mass. So that when we had the Council of Trent, they canonized, the Pius V canonized the traditional Mass as we know it now. But if a way of doing it were 200 years old, these other rites continued. And so I tell people that although the ordination rite has been changed, you never have a document about that similar to Pius V, what he did for the Latin Mass. So it might go back, I mean, there could be, I don't know if you agree with that, but there could be variations without annulling the whole thing. Isn't that correct?
Well, we see that with the Eastern rites. There's clearly more than one ordination rite. But what I was getting at was there could be reason to find suspect if McCarrick ordained in the old rite. It's not just the words. And I'm fine with people criticizing the Novus Ordo ordinations. I understand that. But when it comes to the essential matter in there, you get pretty hardline traditionalists. Most of them will say that it's still there in the Novus Ordo.
Yeah. For the Novus Ordo ordinations, the matter is exactly the same as the traditional. with the laying on of hands and the essential sacramental form. They've just taken out 1 2-letter word, ut, which is important, but it doesn't. It's not going to invalidate it. The intention is probably where it hangs.
Yeah. And the intention would be no matter what rite. So.